Okay, week 4, we got the Raiders versus the Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 5.5. The model is saying that the Chargers should win this handily. Um, so one of the things I'll say about the model is it's taken the raw numbers, particularly the uh, the components of the how well they run and how well the other defense is against the run, and then same thing with the pass, and then compares that to the league averages, and it also takes their style of play. In this case here, it would appear as though it's saying, hey, Justin Herbert is awake, he's passing the ball, and furthermore, it's going against a very weak Raiders pass defense. And when you look over here, that's what that number 2 is, pass rank pass offensive pass rank. And so when this is the rating that I do is I take the uh, yards per pass and rank those because that's one of the critical things that this model is going to look at. And it's going to, and again, it's a Monte Carlo simulation, so it's doing a play-by-play analysis, and then I run it through 100 different games. Um, but the thing I would point out is you go over here, it says, well, hey, Vegas has been pretty good passing as well. Don't know how much this is going to come through, but saying I just saw that Jimmy G is listed as questionable. So I realize that NFL teams play with that. Don't really know if he's really questionable, if they're just trying to get in the heads of everyone else. That notwithstanding, without Jimmy G, I don't know who their backup is. I'm sure they have someone. I just don't know who it is. That notwithstanding, the model is clearly pointing out that there's a huge discrepancy, even though they're both 1 and 2 teams. And uh, I think the one win that uh, uh, the Chargers have against the Vikings is certainly better than the one win that the Raiders have against a really bad Denver team. So, with that in hand, I can kind of see where the model comes out. And then when it adjusts it, it says, hey, even more so, I like the Chargers. Let's go ahead and look at the performance charts. When I kind of look at these, is you see that the passing games don't appear to be that much different per se. One of the things I would point out is the number of plays is the Chargers. They really want to get a lot of plays in. Okay, the thing I would point out is the Chargers should have a relatively decent running game as well. So that notwithstanding, uh, that's going to be some of the, that increase in the point spread. The thing that really stands out at me here is wow, the Chargers, they're protecting the ball. They're not turning the ball over. It looks as though there's the possibility of some sacks here, but when I look at the raw number here, it's really not all that terribly bad. It's about the same as what the Raiders have down here as well. Um, and so, but then when you come down here, the Raiders are having a hard time controlling the ball, especially compared to that of the Chargers. It looks like they've got some explosiveness here. We'll see how that goes. The Raiders certainly do have some capability, but they just haven't put it together. And that's what this model relies on. What have you done? Not what you can do. What have you done thus far, and how does that match up against your opponent? And so, with that, overall, I think the Raiders. I know they've got some pieces they just haven't put together. And this last week, the Chargers showed that they are starting to put it together. So we will see how that looks. Good luck with your bet.